Folks, no grips, okay? I could do, this type of a grip. I could do this type of a grip, but we're gonna do this, okay? My elbows and forearms are following his hips, okay? Then here's another thing. Your head's gotta stay in the game and not just, oh, where's he going? I gotta follow him, right? It needs to stay on him, okay? So his hips are gonna tell me where he wants to go. I'm squeezing in here, right? I can turn, and this is lessened if I don't have my head on, okay? Let me give you an illustration. Sit hooks, both hooks. And go ahead and get grips, whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, good. You ready? Good. Really focus on the head connection. Is good. You're curled forward, but yeah, the more your head's connected, the better. Unconnect your head now. See the difference? So that's just a subtlety. I could not do it, and you wouldn't even notice, right? But it's gonna feel different. Okay. Grab grip. Watch here. No grips. Yes, just like we're gonna do for the drill. If I'm trying to reach back, he's gotta follow. Don't do anything. You got a big throw right there. Okay? If I go to sit forward, putting my weight back into him, he's gotta, I'm going down, so he needs to go down. Go down. Good. Follow me back up. I stand up, he needs to stand up. All right? I circle, he needs to circle. I move forward, I go sideways, I spin, I turtle, I stand back up. Even try and roll belly up. All positions within the back control. That's standing or clinch, that's on the ground. We're just not sitting hooks. Okay? It's even all fours, where I have hands and feet, not just down in a turtle. But the whole thing is, I don't rely on the grips. I rely on my head being connected and my forearms following his hips. I'm just pinching in with my forearms right there and being sensitive with my elbows. Make sense? 1, 2. On video the other day. It's like, I can't just hold you down. It's basically what he's saying. It's like, I can't just like control you and hold you down always. Because all the time I'm giving into some pressure and just subtly readjusting. You might be putting pressure here. I might be pushing my hip back into you so nothing happens. Right? And then I get to control out of that. But it's not just like, oh yeah, I held you all the time. You weren't even able to push me and I didn't have to push back because I'm controlling. It doesn't work that way. Okay? You have to readjust. In following that drill is a great example of that. When we were doing this with Fejao, he had us do it like the one way we just did. And then sometimes just standing, like we did at every class. And then here. And here. And was this the same side hook as your top arm, right? And then it was this with both hooks. So then that introduces, so you have hooks, when they start doing things like rolling, you can't walk on your feet, right? So just a great sensitivity drill, awesome drill. I really like stuff like that, right? It polishes a skill, like following somebody around. Like you can't just stop people when we get in a habit of doing that. Okay, like, oh, I'm gonna pin you down on the ground. It will stop you from moving, bro. And it's like, yeah, that's one side of the coin. Okay. Let's work on this. And cross collar choke. No. Yes. Okay, grab their wrist. Their arm is not good enough. I want to grab as close to your, see there's even a little gap right there. But grab your wrist. And then too, sometimes you get swept to mount and they already have this grip, but still, go ahead and release that. I get him out all the time and I'm just like, and I just, Just right there, okay? Do that. See, I'm pulling it off. Here. And then look. Boom. I pull that elbow out and then I connect. You're like, I don't even want to hold that anymore, actually. Okay? Now, let me do this to you. I'm going to be very strong. That's making fun of you. In Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you say somebody's strong. All right, so I'm going to be super strong. Pretty good. Still couldn't, like, I have a really strong grip. He didn't lessen my grip, but I'm never going to choke him. Right? Let go of that. All right, I can start choking right there because of this. He's here, pull it off. All right. Now, I'm not going to have any choke. There's no point in grabbing over here at all. Okay? Now, I'm gonna really connect this. Grab the wrist. Okay, now you're gonna need a little extra, so take your head away from the wrist as you pull. Yeah, see, and now you're kind of not really wrist locking me, but I don't like, see my hand went backward. I want to be in alignment. Now I wanna let go. And he made me just be like, oh, it's a bad idea to try and submit you. And I'm the one that's on top, controlling. Okay? But you also, we're always taught to keep our elbows like here, right? Forcing them back over our hips, all right? Or maybe like inside the knee, okay? But this, we take the elbow out and connect it back down. So we get to that position. So as soon as somebody grabs, like just like this, pull the wrist. Boom. He's got inside position on my thigh. He can start turning to escape. Or he's got the arm if he wants to if he wants to do the bridge and roll. Okay, so here's what we'll do for just a basic bridge and roll. Two things. Don't just turn your head this way. Once you turn that way, turn and look down the line with my fingers going. Yes, it's the same on your spine zone. Okay, he gives me room to fall there, and we don't want to roll on this portion of our shoulder here. We want to go over the top, over the trap. Okay, so your head will impede that motion. So this will do it, but head goes, the body follows type of an idea. Right, so when I'm here, he pulls that wrist. Okay, yes, now let's do one other test. Okay, control the arm. Okay, the elbow, yes. Okay, even if you're grabbing material, the material can move, but you can also break their balance down a little better with material. Like, this is good. Reach up a little higher on that seam in my sleeve and grab that, and see that pulled me down even more, right? So he just took that slack. It's like my gi's tight on my back here now. Okay, now he's moving his head sideways. He's looking down this line. He's gonna start with both of his shoulders pressing down the mat, both feet. He's gonna raise his hips. Right there. Now, look, just so I don't readjust this, take your hands and put them in a V, like the other one too, underneath that one. Pop it straight up, boom, and then we pass, okay? So, put me in that. Look, as soon as he's here, grab the wrist and connect. That's no longer an issue. If they're bigger than you, pull your head away as you do it, if you need that extra. Here stops him from bringing his elbow out. Here, I can stop that and also break your balance down a little bit, okay? So here, he's over my hips, trapping the foot, right here. If I land with my knee in the center, he's gonna be hard for him to close guard. Break, pass. Right, your number one low guard pass. Here, I'm gonna get side control. If he ever goes over to attack, because a lot of times I'm here, and they'll go over to try and attack for more or something, I've got the back. Okay. So just the bridge and roll. We'll do one more variation of that, and then we'll do a knee elbow. And we'll kind of reduce them with the half bar off of that, okay? 1, 2. Okay, so if you do not get the right angle, let me show you stop me with this hand, okay? So look, I'm here, shoulder walk, and I'm gonna upa this way. I went 2 sideways. See, like the side of my arm is on the ground, okay? However, not 2 sideways. Okay? So that's the problem of the hand, host. What about the problem of him redistributing his weight? So here's what I know, is that when, let's say start with that, I'm here. I know this dude's got my arm, and he's gonna roll me this way. So, we're gonna fall over this side. So when I start trying to upa, or I get the arm control, he puts his head over here. Not gonna happen the same way. Here. Okay, see that again. So here, look, as soon as he's grabbing, I'm grabbing his wrist, but he's projecting his weight over here. So just keep doing that. I'm gonna try to bridge with this. It's not, I was straining, it's not gonna happen. However, reach in here, grab the gi here or in the collar. Pull my elbow back in like we did on the collar grip defense. Here, boom. Move your head out of the way, hips up, knee in the center, and pass. Make sense? Okay, do that one a couple of times, then one knee elbow next. 1, 2. Come on. Go ahead. So here, boom, right? He's got his head over here. Look, see here? You can grab the head, but I'm grabbing just that neck. And my shepherd's pinning into that. Like that. Okay. So, yeah. Chris Burns had this quote that I was stealing it for the first time here, but I did tell him I liked it via text yesterday because we were chatting about just teaching, like how to teach this stuff to people. But grab the skeleton, not what the skeleton's wearing. But I would prefer to adhere to that at all times. But this is, you saw, like when I grabbed higher on the sleeve and I pulled down, I pulled that slack out of the back of your gi, I broke your balance a little bit on that first upa. So it's, like, okay, I can enhance what I'm doing by grabbing what you're wearing sometimes. Okay? That's why we strangle with the collar, right? Like, yeah, that's an enhancement. All right? So, I think that we, it's 2 schools of thought. Rely on the grips, use the gi, use the grips. Or like, oh, well, they're not always going to be wearing that. Usually those people quit training after they okay, just say that.
Matt did something to me, kind of went to technical mount. I didn't trap his leg, and I went the other way. If that comes up, I forgot to trap his foot when I went to roll him, and he posted with that leg. He brought it up for like a technical.
Okay, yeah, and put me in mount. The knee coming up is the big problem on the upa, and it's not that big of a problem if you do things like trap the foot and get proper body positioning. So, come a little higher on the line. So look, he's over my ribs, no good for the upa. Here. Now I've got my arms connected, and he's over my hips. When I slide my feet closer to my hips, he's now wedged between my thighs and my forearms. Here, okay? So I could start framing here, right? Or I could start trying to control for the upa he's not giving me anything for him, so I need his hands on the mat. Okay, so I bridge to get his hands on the mat, and I stay up here. Okay, now shoulder walk a little bit more, but look, I got the foot trapped. Okay, and here, an example of there, you can grab at the tricep in the same way, but here, on the back, right? And then you just, look, I use this sometimes. Sometimes when you're on the front of the thigh, you're connected, get like a, but see how that's like, he's connected. I don't get a little bit, see this space, close that up. Yes, okay? But stay open, stay right there. See how his elbow is just, he is occupying the majority of the inside position. Meaning I'm not sliding my knee up under his armpit. So if we were gonna upa this side, he has my knee wedged just a little bit. So that's, you know, a method too I will use sometimes because it can mitigate against that knee wheeling out. It's something I saw several years ago. I teach it periodically. I show it to Justin Myrick and he's used it in class a couple of times. You know, it's just like, people will bring their knee up. If you trap the foot and you're doing that in the right way, a lot harder for them to do. Okay? Put me in low mount with your feet crossed. Okay. So here's the game. All right. If your feet are crossed, good. Yeah, cross your ankles. So if they're not crossed, it's fine. But if they're crossed, worse for him. I don't do this. I put the bottoms of my feet together, or like a, you know, just touching, hooking, not ankles. I can already tell you what this is the size that's on top. This is the side that's on top. So if you can tell that, go ahead and switch again. All right. This is the side. I'm going to swing to the low side and then back to the high side. Okay. So here, whoa, I'm out into the elbow. Now look on this knee elbow. Raise, flat. Your knee elbow brings you into half guard. All right, so as you're coming into half guard, my hands are on the mat. Put your hands under my armpits. Go that way, horizontally. Boom. Come up and take my back. Both hooks. Okay, so when we're flattening there, what we want is our feet together and our knees apart. Okay? I bring my hips forward and look up. I don't kick my legs back. Okay? Here. If he just has his feet together, right, you can swing either side. Okay? But the kind of the goal is like here, I'm out. Raise him up, here. We're not taking this back to flat. Okay? Sometimes if he just like, because here's the thing, cross your feet. He crosses his feet, and I go here. He's uncomfortable. Okay, so when I swing this side, sometimes I get out that side. More often than not, it's the side of the top leg. You swing back to the low side, and you knee elbow on the side that was on top. And then here, boom, come up, looking for that far hook. Here. Make sense? 1, 2.